Hello, my name's Lee Addison from rugbyleaguecoach.com.au and Rugby League Coach on socials. Please like and subscribe this video and to this channel so that you can get more of our videos popping up on your feed. I've been analysing the England versus Australia second test match, and there's already been two videos looking at how Australia can maximise their opportunities and also how England need to fix their attack. If you've not seen those, please go back and have a look. But this one has a look at the England defence, which still hasn't fixed some of the issues from the week before, which I analysed last week. Very aggressive, very forceful, but they're still leaving holes in the defensive line. Take a look at this video. Please have a look at rugbyleaguecoach.com.au, and if you're interested in mentoring, if you are a coach or your club wants to have all their coaches mentored, please take a look at our coach mentor programs. You can see everything, including our online options, at rugbyleaguecoach.com.au/shop, the world's biggest online coaching resource. England's defence. I did a video last week saying it had some problems. Very chesty here. Look. Men in the tackle, 4 men in the tackle. If you have 4 men in the tackle, you can only leave 2 there at marker. Also, they are tackling to catch. So instead of tackling to hit, they are tackling to catch, and they are wrestling with the attacking player, which in this case is Carrigan. Also, what you notice too is that England don't force the Australian attackers backwards. They often take them towards their own goal line, which does not make sense to me, which means Australia gets some extra metres. Right now, as the ball is about to be played, because there was little floor work, because the referee Atkins was putting pressure on them to get up, England have 2 men still not in the defensive line when the ball is played. This isn't great attack from Australia, but even so, England are still not getting it right. Now we have a problem here. Look at the spacings. The A, the B, the A defender, the first defender outside the marker, and the B aren't in the same spacing realm as the 2 defenders here, which is C defender, and their spaces are too big, and it causes England some problems. Herbie Farnworth ends up doing a passive tackle alongside Jez Litton. A little bit later, England's defence, not quite got the numbers right. 3 men where they probably should be 4. Australia notice this, and they start to probe in and around that area. England respond by putting 5 people into that tackle, and once again, look, defensive line, people not in the defensive line. Australia are now attacking 5 men in the front line, and it presents opportunities to Cameron Munster and his team, and this is why the English defence is looking so frazzled at times, even though they're physical, because they are putting so many men into the line and they're not arranging into the collision, and they're not arranging their defensive line on the back of it properly. Here in this situation, they should not be under threat, England, but because they don't have the latitude to kill the ruck, and because their tackle techniques are chesty and they caress the Australian player to the ground, Australia gets some momentum. This time, they go for the big hit. Whenever you do a big hit like that, if you jump off them and the ball is played quickly, you almost might have been better not doing the big hit. Look, on the back of that, Harry Grant takes an option. Because England's defence has gone in extra hard, they found something to probe in and behind the play the ball. So the more England were putting pressure on Australia with numbers in the tackle, the more Australia had the chance to look in behind the ruck. Australia are getting passive tackles an awful lot because they're attacking a little bit smarter than England. Here they have a situation where they can keep Australia in their own area. Again, they allow people to get up quickly, and they put them to the ground quickly on that occasion too, or should I say Reece Walsh got to the ground quickly without being stopped. Now, with some lateral running, England's defence is all over the show, and they can't align because they're putting too much emphasis on being overly physical and putting people into the tackle. They don't have the structure that they can fall back to because they're putting too many people in the tackle. Honestly, if Australia get it right in attack, England could be in all sorts of trouble. Australia have the smarts to maximise their talents to find these problems in the English defence. I could see they were looking at those problems during the game, but they just didn't click. England's hope is that Australia spend 2 days on the piss and don't focus on training as much as they should. And their physicality can help get them over the line if that's the case. That said, they need to organise their edge defence a lot better than they are doing. And I would also like to see them not put as many people into every single tackle and defend smarter, not always harder. My name's Lee. I'm from Rugby League Coach. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to give you some feedback on the third test. And don't forget to listen to the Rugby League Coach podcast and the Ashes Rugby League podcast. Take care.